Terence Crawford has just made history. He is the first ever three-division undisputed champion in the four-belt era. He absolutely schooled Canelo. He proves he is the GOAT of this era without a shadow of a doubt. What a performance it was there by Terence Crawford. Fantastic stuff by him. Yeah, look, let's be real here. It was dominant. It was absolutely dominant, and Canelo couldn't really move out the way of Crawford whatsoever. Crawford was way too quick for him in there, and you know, I actually predicted a Terence Crawford win in that fight, but sorry, I actually predicted a Canelo win in that fight. Sorry, I predicted Canelo to win that fight. But I was completely wrong. So big respect to Terence Crawford. Fantastic performance by Crawford. Yeah, absolutely unbelievable performance by Terence Crawford there. Honestly, performance of his career by far, proving that, I mean, the guy basically moved up 3 weight classes for this fight. Basically 3 weight classes. And was able to do that. So, you know, obviously last year in August, took that Israel Madrimov fight where, let's be honest, it was a very competitive fight. And I was thinking Crawford's looking pretty tight at the weight here. And that is why I had a lot of questions going into this one. Crawford looked tight at the weight against Israel Madrimov. Without a shadow of a doubt, he did. Moving up there. Then he's moved up an extra 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who had all the belts and absolutely put an absolute beating and schooling onto him. Made an example of Canelo Alvarez there. Unbelievable stuff. It proves this guy is the GOAT of this era. And Usyk said before, Crawford is pound for pound number 1 over him. You know, a great recognizes a great at the end of the day. And look, Crawford, Alexander Usyk, they are the 2 guys who we are going to remember from this era. They are the 2 guys who we are going to remember. I mean, Canelo as well, of course. Canelo as well, definitely. But he's been out of his prime now for a while. He hasn't been the same since his defeat to Bivol. You know, we then go back to what Canelo was like against Triple G in the trilogy. And it's like Triple G, even though he's a great himself, Golovkin was about 40 odd at that time, though. So it wasn't a great look that Canelo looked so slow against him. And Golovkin was so inactive going into that one as well. Yeah, then we just see the John Ryder fight for Canelo and couldn't get him out of there. And then that is when loads of questions were being answered. And then, you know, people were questioning his power. I don't think it's that his power was gone. I think, you know, you could hear his shots a lot tonight against Terence Crawford. Crawford was able to shrug them off, though. Absolutely shrugged them off. Crawford didn't really give a care in the world about Canelo's power whatsoever, which surprised me. I thought when Canelo started ripping Crawford to the body, that's when it could have got dangerous. But Crawford kept on moving. Crawford kept on smiling and was countering Canelo a lot when he went to the body, was countering him a lot. It was a very smart performance. It's the performance of the year without a shadow of a doubt. And even though Canelo isn't as good as he once was a few years, I feel like he's about 4 years past his prime now, 4 years past his best. Even though he is about 4 years past his very best, though, he is still elite. He is still world class. And the fact that Terence Crawford moved up 3 weight classes to get to this point and beat Canelo and put on a performance like that, that is why he is a GOAT. That is only what all-time greats can do. And that's why we are all now 100% fully going to remember Terence Crawford. What Crawford does next is, of course, up to him. But if Crawford does fight again, then it will be massive because his stock's now as high as ever. I think he should at least have one more fight. If I had to choose, if we were able to persuade him, then I say at least one more fight, because that would be absolutely massive. Does he have a defense at 168? Will be interesting to see. I don't know who he fights. To be honest. It would be very interesting to see who he fights next, but I honestly couldn't give you a name right now. I mean, if I look through this super middleweight division, who could he fight next? I mean, there's Jamal Charlo, which is a fight people might want to see. Crawford will win that, though, of course, easily. Hamza Shiraz would be interesting, but again, it's like that. There's not really any money involved in that kind of fight, though. A fight with Hamza Shiraz versus Terence Crawford, there's no real money involved in that. It's interesting. I don't know if he does fight at 168 again. Crawford doesn't even need to fight again. That performance was just a completely different level there. Absolutely elite and world-class Terence Crawford. He's a fantastic guy to have at the top of the sport as well. The story he has got behind him is unbelievable as well. Fully deserved that. Basically 38 years old as well and doing that. Basically 38. He was out for over a year coming into this fight as well. Canelo is one of the most active champions in the sport. And Terence Crawford still came in and put on an absolute goated performance like that. You're not going to see many people do that. So as much as we can say, oh yeah, Canelo's not at his very best anymore. And, it's safe to say he's not. It's clear to say he's not. Either way, what Crawford has done, where he's came from, everything he has done with that kind of performance there, is just a different level, and it's not normal. It's not something that you'd expect to see. Not something that you would expect to see. I thought Canelo would get the job done there against Terence Crawford. But I was completely wrong. He absolutely proved me wrong there, Terence Crawford. I scored the fight 9-3. I still haven't got on to that yet. I've just been saying he scored him. I've scored the fight 9-3 to Terence Crawford. I don't even think you can argue with 10-2. I honestly don't think you can argue with 10-2 to Terence Crawford. He was that dominant. I'm going to get the rounds up that I gave to Canelo. So the rounds I gave to Canelo, I gave Canelo round 3. Canelo, I gave round 5. I thought that was Canelo's only really convincing round, though, round 5. Other than that, he didn't have loads of convincing rounds in that fight. Round 5 was the only real convincing round for Canelo in that fight there. So I gave him round 3, round 5, and round 10. They are the only rounds that I gave Canelo. Honestly. The way Crawford was able to start some of those rounds as well. Coming out absolutely beating down on Canelo, landing left, right. See, honestly, hooks, straights, uppercuts. It was unbelievable the way he was able to start some of those rounds. Terence Crawford, the pace he was able to keep up at his new weight as well. Yeah, honestly, it is absolutely insane the way that Crawford was able to keep up the pace at this weight. You just don't see it. It's just not something you see. It's just not something that you see. Honestly, I mean, Canelo, I think, had an all right round 1, to be honest, and I was thinking, okay, Crawford won that round, but then I was thinking at the time, I'm still confident that Canelo gets a decision here, though. Because Canelo always has a slow start, but Crawford's never usually the quickest of starters. But again, he had a very quick start against Errol Spence. He's having a quick start in the 2 biggest fights of his career, this Canelo one and the Errol Spence one. it's just he's just able to turn on a different kind of volume. He's such a smart fighter. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He knows exactly what he needs to do in order to be able to pick up rounds. Today he was very good at starting rounds well. He was very good at ending rounds well. And that's what him and Usyk have in common. Very good at starting and ending rounds very well. Canelo didn't know what hit him half the time. Crawford's speed didn't go at all. Crawford's speed did not go at all. No one was beating Terence Crawford tonight. No one was beating him tonight. The speed went absolutely nowhere. The left hands that came straight down the pipe and caught Terence Crawford, and caught Canelo right on the button, just came out of nowhere at times. Came out of absolutely nowhere. It was absolutely unbelievable to see the pace on the shots to Terence Crawford. And look, we can say that Canelo's upper movement's gone because it has. He doesn't move his head the same, doesn't move his body the same. Canelo, his reflexes aren't the same whatsoever. But again, no matter what we say, Canelo is still an elite fighter in there. Still got those elite attributes. I think an interesting thing I want to say as well, though, is Canelo was walking away from Crawford quite a lot in the ring there. He was walking away from him quite a lot. Does that show he's walking away from the sport? It seemed to me, I just got the impression at times in there that Canelo just didn't end up wanting it as much. That's the thing. I don't know if he wants it as much as he once did. He's done everything he needs to do. There's nothing else for Canelo to do in boxing now. Nothing else for him to do. But we'll get on with what's next. I don't know if it is retirement or not. We'll have to see. I never thought I'd see Dana White putting the belt around the waist of the winner. It was so strange when I saw him put the belt around Terence Crawford. It was so strange. To be honest, though, I don't think Dana White's promoted the fight too well. But what I have liked about the whole promotion and the whole build-up to it, I liked how they've been doing, the press conference layout, how the UFC do it. I liked how they did the weigh-in layout, how the UFC do it. That is what I have liked to see. I feel like it adds that bit more tension to the weigh-ins. I feel like actually hearing reporters ask questions to the fighters is much better than them going along the table and the boxers just giving some boring answers. I think the UFC press conference layout is something which I've been saying about for a long time, is something that I want to see in boxing. Dana White's been able to bring that in. That's what I'd like to see. But I feel like overall promotional-wise, I don't think Dana White did a great job at all. I feel like he did an absolutely atrocious job. But I thought the production tonight was fantastic. But again, you had the likes of Netflix involved in that, which really was able to boost it a lot. But yeah, there was no lags or anything at all. It's all been fixed. It was all a good experience watching the fight, to be honest, which is what we want to see. That was all good. But moving on to talk about Canelo. I don't know what he does next. I don't know who he fights next. I said before the fight, if Crawford was to lose, then it's fine because he could have just moved back down to welterweight. He could have tried at super welterweight. Canelo losing, that's the end of the world now. It honestly is. Like, what does he even do? What does Canelo even do now? I mean, he was saying after the fight how he felt great and all, but I think he knows he's not the same guy. And it was always a risk and an ego risk for him taking a fight against someone who's coming up from 3 weight classes below him. As great as, we all know Crawford is. Either way, though, weight-wise, it's a bit of an ego hit for Canelo losing that fight, especially in the fashion he did with that. It's a bit of an ego hit. And at this point in Canelo's career, I don't know what he does next. If Canelo doesn't fight again, he has nothing to be ashamed of. He's had a fantastic career. Yeah, of course. He doesn't need to fight again. I don't think he needs to. I'm not sure he will. I don't know who he can even fight. I honestly don't know who he can even fight. I might stick at a poll or something of who he could, but again, there's just so many limited options of what he can actually do. I honestly don't know who we see him in there with next. But there's if Canelo doesn't fight again, it's fine. The amount of money he's earned from this fight, I think I saw something that's like 150 million or something like that. Crawford got 50 million. So, what Canelo's done, the money that he's brought in to the sport, the money that he's earned himself is fantastic. And again, it doesn't matter if he doesn't fight again. He doesn't need to fight again. He took some big shots tonight. And he's proven, he's got one of the best chins in boxing. And I'm not a Canelo fan, but, if Canelo was to get dropped tonight against Crawford, let's say he got dropped in the fight, it wouldn't have been exactly great to see. I mean, arguably the David Benavidez fight for Canelo is still on the table, but he just lost to a guy who's moved up from 3 weight classes. Does he really want to go in against a guy bigger than him and take some massive shots? I don't think so. I don't think Canelo would want to do that personally. But again, let's wait and see. He never said he announced retirement. I don't know if he will. Some guys don't know when to hang it up, but again, he's 35. Crawford's turning 38. I mean, does either guy even fight again? Because I can't picture Crawford defending the super middleweight belts. And Crawford fights like once a year as well. So if he fights in a year's time from now, he's going to be about 39. He's going to be 39 in about a month's time, a year from now. I mean, when is his birthday? Terence Crawford. When is his birthday? 28th of September. His birthday's in 2 weeks' time. So he's basically 38. Wow. And he's still able to do that. And the weight playing no factor on his body whatsoever. The weight playing absolutely no factor on him at all. The guy is absolutely different, honestly. Different Terence Crawford is to describe him. Honestly, you don't see many guys like that. You don't at all. The schooling he put on Canelo tonight. The counters were unbelievable every time Canelo went to the body. The counters Crawford would find upstairs were fantastic. As I said, the way Crawford was able to start some of those rounds were fantastic. The lead hand control of Crawford tonight was fantastic. He was so good at not letting Canelo into range, and the footwork was fantastic tonight as well. And, I think a lot of people were saying before the fight, Crawford gets hit too much. He gets hit more than what people think, but he got hit with nothing stupid tonight at all. Absolutely nothing stupid tonight at all. Crawford didn't put a foot wrong in that fight. Did not put a single foot wrong there at all. Honestly. Unbelievable performance. One of the greatest of all time. One of the all-time greats. The first 3-division undisputed champion. And he moved up 3 weight classes. Well, 2 weight classes. No. Because he wasn't undisputed at welterweight, was he? He's moved up 3 weight classes to become an undisputed champ. Honestly. Absolutely unbelievable from Terence Crawford. I didn't expect it. I honestly thought that the speed of Terence Crawford wouldn't be the same. I didn't think I thought we'd see a much slower Terence Crawford. I thought we'd see Crawford slow down and tire. He showed absolutely zero signs of that. Crawford could have gone another 12 rounds. Honestly, he could have done 24 rounds tonight. Canelo was gassing in there. He was walking, you could tell round 10 onwards, especially those final 3 rounds. Canelo was wasted and had absolutely nothing left in him at all, really, at all. He had absolutely nothing left in him. It was unbelievable to witness, to be honest. Fantastic stuff from Terence Crawford. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Terence Crawford makes history. An absolute schooling. Wow. Wow. Thank you all for watching. It was at 168 as well. People saying, oh, no way no one beats Canelo at 168. A man moves up from 3 weight classes and does that. A man moves up 3 weight classes and beats Canelo at 168. Yes, Canelo lost to Mayweather, smaller weight. Yeah, people saying it's in a smaller weight class though. Then he moved up, lost to Bivol. People saying, Bivol's too big. He's lost at 168 to an all-time great who moved up from 3 weight classes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.